Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Alexis, and yeah, let's do another speed build in The Sims 4. So today's speed build is on Avarice Acres lot, I believe, and it is going to be a modern home, of course, as this is the modern neighborhood that we are currently in, or in my game it's at least a modern neighborhood. And it's going to be only 2 bedrooms and 3 baths. Which actually, for the size of the house that we're about to build, yeah. I mean, I definitely could have made it into more bedrooms and more bathrooms. But I kind of wanted to have like a huge house with not too many rooms, if that makes sense. So yeah, there really isn't a lot of, or there aren't many rooms, so you can't put a ton of Sims in it. But honestly, I think it's a bigger house than the Twin Oracle Point house. I don't know. I would have to actually do the math on the grid to figure that out. But I saw this house on, I just Googled modern home. And I saw this house that had like this cool pond in the front. And so I couldn't necessarily do the exact same thing that they did because, you know, real life builds don't have nearly as many limitations as Sims, but took some inspiration from that. If I remember, I'll put that on the screen right now, the one that I saw when I did that. But so that's why I included the pond in the front, and then I wanted to also hide the pond a little bit, since right now it's just a giant rectangle and that has like no curb appeal in my opinion. So yeah, I'll do that in a little bit. Add all of the flowers and such. Flowers and bushes, I believe, is what I end up using primarily for that. I think I use a couple of like the tree-ish bushy type looking things. That made no sense, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in a bit. But of course, I am starting with the shell of the home first. I think that it just makes it a little bit easier for myself to then go and figure everything else out. And I actually end up changing the color of all these windows later, which in hindsight, I wish I had just started with white. But I honestly thought that I was going to use it with the black trim. So that's going to be fun later to do. And there I was just trying to see what the doors would look like if I sized them up. I had never actually tried sizing up a door before. It just looks a little weird when you size up the doors. Sizing up some of the other things, it doesn't really have too many problems. You can't size up a mirror though, and you can't size up or down. You can't size down a mirror either. You can't change the size of a one of the water fountains either. It just does not work. Not with the actual fountain. The way that the water spews out, it doesn't work. Because it still does it from the height of the original fountain. Or for a mirror, it does the original size of the mirror. And otherwise, you just have like this weird looking, I don't really know how to describe it. I've tried to do it before in some of my other builds, and that's when I realized that you can't really do that. So if you ever noticed that, or if you ever did not know why that was happening, that's why. It's very interesting. But yeah, so here is when I'm starting to put in some of the plants. And I actually stopped like halfway through the plants one night because I just decided I wanted to go to bed. I think it was only like 10:30, maybe 11 by the time I stopped. But I was just like, I'm tired now. So you will see a cut. And when I came back to it, for some reason, I was not able to record. So I actually finished landscaping. and I don't have that footage because it wasn't letting me record for whatever reason. So there will be a jump to a fully flowered and bushed, and rocked. That sounds so weird, but a fully landscaped front yard. So just giving you a heads up a couple of seconds before it happens. But yeah, I actually really love this idea, and I think I should incorporate it in a few other builds. Or, it's just, I feel like some things just kind of call for like a heavily landscaped thing or front yard. I think honestly I might go back to the Tornado World Point just for my own game and add some more landscaping. But for now, we'll see. It randomly did jump. It's a really nice front yard, and it jumped again. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was, actually. What was that for? Oh, that last jump was a different day. I had to go out of the game for, what was it that I was trying to do? I think I had to go out of the game to record or something. That's when I was trying to figure out how to, no, because I was already recording. So it must have been when I was having problems with the bb.move objects. And for some reason I couldn't get that to work. I couldn't even get the testing cheats on. I couldn't get that one to work. So I had to exit the game and see what was going on. I just had a lot of trouble with this build specifically, and it was all like the actual recording process, or the BB move objects. So it's a really cool build though. I like how it turned out. There's no mods in this one, so you should be able to download this, and if you have never seen any of my builds, or you are just now coming across this, whatever brings you here today, if you've never downloaded any of my stuff, then that is on the gallery. You just type in boron number 2 be a diamond, same way as it's spelled here, just minus the games part, and you should be able to find that. You can also, I do have a lot of custom content builds, or builds that have custom content, all of which have the Eco Kitchen stuff pack by Little Dicka, and that's literally it. So if you're interested in that pack, you could always download that, and I've linked it in the builds that I use it in. I think I've linked it in all of them. I think now, thinking back on it, I might have missed one, the very last one that I used the custom content in, but there should be quite a few ones that you should be able to find it on. And of course, I will link the playlist of all of my speed builds down below. I have that. I'm actually probably going to make the playlist on this channel and move it from the my main channel, just because I haven't added the these new ones to the playlist yet, so I want to go ahead and do that, but I might as well just have the playlist on this channel and include all the builds on my main channel. But yeah, main channel, by the way, now that I've talked about it for a little while, is Born to Be a Diamond. Again, same way as it's spelled here, just without the games. And I used to post some of my speed builds on there, but I decided that I wanted a distinction between that channel and this channel, or that channel and gaming content, just because that one's a little bit more lifestyle. So if you want to see more lifestyle videos from me, then you can always check that out. And of course, I will link my main channel in this description. Yeah. I really like how the front yard looks, though. I I think that it took me a long time to do that. Obviously, it's I think it took me maybe an hour just on the front yard alone. And I'm sure you could do something really cool with debug instead, and that would lower the price down on this build a lot. But no, I didn't. I just used all the regular in-game content. I don't like opening debug. I'm really want to get that one custom content, or it's a mod actually, where you can use that. You can get it's like they put debug stuff as like someone went through and named all of it. So you can copy it, you can, I forget what all you can do. I talked about this in one of my other videos, but Little Simsy made a whole video about it, and I love the idea of it, so maybe I will download that. I've been really thinking about it because I really want to use some of the debug things, because there's a lot of cool things just like in the regular world. But just the idea of searching through the catalog of debug and just scrolling and scrolling doesn't really sound appealing to me. I just remembered another feature. So if you wanted to get a tree, you could actually like go into the landscaping part and select tree, and you would have all your debug stuff there too. That's another one of the features of it, which I think is a really good idea. Just because otherwise the regular debug, you literally just open a whole catalog of all the debug items, and there's no organization to it whatsoever. Well, I mean, kind of. All the trees are by the trees, all the shrubs are by the shrubs, I think. It's been a while since I've been in debug. But, it's not nearly, it won't come up if you select any specific thing, and you can't search for any of it because none of it has a name. So that's why I think the mod is a really good idea, but I have not downloaded it thus far. I'm really considering it. Just because also that would decrease the prices of these builds by so much. I mean, in real life standards, this home would easily be like, especially considering like in a couple of places it could probably be a little bit cheaper, but I guarantee you this house would be $1 million at least. So, not exactly the most, I don't tend to build a ton of things that are cheap, do I? I don't know why. I don't like building starter homes, to be quite honest. There are ways to make it look okay. It's just, I don't like any of the cheap furniture. And I've now gotten to the point where I tried to do something kind of similar to like a legacy challenge, where you just start with someone and you like work your way up. And sometimes I just cheat money and like I get bored of it. It's kind of bad actually. I've gotten so used to cheats that it's just like, this is boring to like play. I haven't played in a while too, but it's just, going through all the time to earn that money. Like, I'm already doing that in my real life. I don't need to do that in The Sims. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah. So. Oh, and I used the platforms for those stairs up to the front door. I thought that was really cool. I really wanted some, like, big trees on both sides, but I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. There are the right trees, but I couldn't figure out how to, like, you can't lower them down past the platform. And I really wanted them to be these specific trees, but there was no way. Ooh, I wonder if I could have alt-placed one of the regular pots or something like that. And, well, I mean, you could have just used bb.move objects, which I had on anyway. But, so you might not need the alt place. That actually might be, I might do that. Now thinking about it, I might try it and see how it works. But put like one of the flower pots down, and then put this one tree that, it'll show up here in a bit, because I do try putting it there and it just doesn't look right. It's like the really tall, slender tree. But yeah, I wonder if that would look right. I size down that chandelier quite often, just because that one, even on the really tall wall height, it's always so large. So you kind of have to size it down unless you're doing a 2-floor section like I did for the front entry. But yeah, I thought about putting a fountain. Oh, here's where you can see what I was talking about. So when I size it down, you can see the actual fountain is still above it. And so I assume that even when you're playing, then the fountain will, go from the original fountain height, and or the water will go from the original fountain height, and it won't adjust for the fact that you made the fountain smaller. So that was a really cool idea, but even then, that the one size down was still too big, and I didn't want to size it down too much. It was a good concept, but don't necessarily think that it quite worked. So yeah. There's the one bedroom. I think it's probably a teen room, is what I would probably say. And then the other side is like it's pretty much a whole wing of the house is just the parents' room. So it's a really big room. It's a really big house though. And then there's one wing that is completely the informal dining room, the family room, and the kitchen. And then the other wing has the formal dining room and the formal living room. And oh yeah, I really was trying to play it with the platforms here. And we'll see later. I go back to no foundations, and I don't do too many platforms. I just do the entryway basically, and the stairs leading up to the house. I decided that nothing that I did worked out exactly what I wanted to, so I do backtrack in a bit. But yeah. Oh, and it's actually kind of funny to watch this back now, because of all the hoops that I had to jump through just for me to get things to look correct, and then it doesn't even really look the way I want it to, but then I end up changing it back anyway, so just watching yourself back, it's kind of funny to see in hindsight being like, oh, well, all of this was kind of for nothing, but yeah. I was going to put platforms in the backyard originally. This is, I think, when I decided that the foundations it wasn't going to work. So I think I just lowered it back. Yeah, I just lowered it back to the original, and then I was going to put all of this on a platform. Kind of decided against it eventually, as you will see, just because the windows, so you see halfway, but then you're seeing into nothingness because nothing exists down there, so you're just seeing the void, which is not ideal at all. So I decided against it. But I think it's a cool idea to have some more platforms and stuff like that. If I had changed the windows up, then maybe it would have worked out a little bit better. But I really wanted those windows specifically, and I've included those windows in the other two builds in this neighborhood. So I feel like it's going to be like a future part of this neighborhood, is that those windows are very apparent. Plus, I think those windows are they're the big open windows that you see in a lot of modern builds, especially like modern mansions. If I could do a whole like glass wall, I honestly would. Just because I think it would actually look more expensive. Or even if there was a wider window for the tall wall height, that was maybe even like 4 instead of the 2 grid, I think that could also make it look a little bit more expensive. Just because the more of those bars that you have, I don't know if that's actually real, but I feel like it's more expensive to get a bigger piece of glass installed, because most of the time I think that you have to make it thicker the bigger it is, which I think would be also very indicative of this neighborhood, just the wealth that I think is in this neighborhood. I think this world, honestly, is going to be a very wealthy world, just because the suburban neighborhood was already very expensive. Maybe I'll put more of a starter home in the last neighborhood. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't know. We'll think about that. I'll think about that, not we. But this house, I think, ends up a little under $3,250. So pretty expensive. Not my most expensive, I think, but definitely not my least expensive. I think my least expensive was probably around $1,250, maybe a little bit less. No, my least expensive is only like 70,000 simoleons, I think. I think that's the 1-bedroom suburban. I don't remember exactly. I probably have some cheaper ones out there that I'm not really thinking of, but I haven't posted those. There is one. Oh my goodness, that will be my next build, actually. So I'll probably divert from my Newcrest, my building Newcrest up project for a second, because I just remembered that there was this one build that I really liked how it turned out, actually. But I accidentally, when I moved from it, I probably did this on purpose, actually, because I had a sim living there, and then that sim got married, and the person that she got married was rich, so they moved to a way bigger house that looks fantastic, and I actually downloaded from the gallery. But yeah, so when she moved, I'm pretty sure that I had her keep all of her furniture, so now I have a unfurnished build that I can't really remember what exactly I did to it, but I remember it was really cute. So I'm going to see if I can figure out kind of a way to build it up, because it's basically a shell right now. And it's a really cool build, especially considering I think I built it probably a year and a half ago. I don't remember when I build all my builds. I guess I just say, I think it's been about a year and a half, but in reality it could have been longer than that. To be quite honest, I have no idea. I think, though, it was around the time that I got seasons, which might have been around my birthday last year, or Christmas it wasn't Christmas last year. I think if it was a Christmas, it was Christmas 2 years ago. So it could have been But I could have built it around my birthday last year. So in 2019, about April. That would be about a year and a half. I don't really exactly remember, but maybe I'll do that one. Maybe I'll do another build in Newcrest, though. Because I really, really like the idea of having a full world. I don't necessarily like having empty lots. Plus, I think it looks more... Well, I mean, every once in a while, you can have like an empty lot somewhere. I think the empty lot makes it seem like, oh, they're developing this neighborhood. But it's also kind of nice to have like families living everywhere and just creating more NPC families for you to interact with. That's always fun. I actually kind of do that every once in a while. Like there was one time where I have this huge family, and so they were pretty much the only people I ever saw out in the world, and so I created a few houses of the or right around the ages of people that I had. I'm not explaining this well. So it was like the third generation of this family, I think, and all of the Sims their age were all their cousins, basically, or their siblings. And so I wanted to, obviously have some of them get married and have kids and continue growing this family. And it just was not happening because I couldn't have any of them. None of them were finding anyone because literally all the people they were finding were all related to them. So, which is also weird because sometimes I would go out of family or out of one of the families because I had multiple households by this point. Sometimes I would go out of one household and start playing in another household, and one of the Sims, while I was gone, decided they were going to start flirting with one of their family members. Like, usually it'd be a cousin, but sometimes it would be an uncle, and it was weird. And you can't even do that with your actual Sim, but they had like a little bit of the romance bar, and it was actually frightening. I really have no idea what was going on with that family, but they just started going a little... they started getting a little weird, and so I made more people for them to interact with, because obviously when I left the households, they decided that they were going to do stuff. It was weird. It was very weird to come back to one household and see that, hey, this person has a romance bar with their cousin. Because that's normal. So, I don't think I've mentioned this yet in this speed build, but this is a black and white build. The only real color is the flowers and the bushes outside. And then kind of like that like beigey tan wood color on the couches. That's really it. I don't know why, but I just started with it on the outside, and I thought, you know what? I want to see if I can do a build all in black and white. And there's like the blue on that bidet toilet thing that I include in all my really expensive houses because why not? They can afford it, obviously, so might as well have the best toilets. I don't even think it's technically the best one, but I mean, it's definitely a good one, so. Oh, and the parents' room has their own office within the room. So to get to it, you have to go into the bedroom, which I think is very cool, I guess. I decided that one of them was going to be like a music producer, and so behind the desks I put like the music thing, the music producer like station thing, And then the other one is going to be a YouTuber, I guess. Because I put like that one desk where you can create your videos and upload your videos, and that little station. So there's that behind the other desk. I don't really know which one's which. I think maybe. Well, I haven't even created a family. I just came up with the story for the family, that there's the two parents and then a teenage child of theirs, and that's it. In this very expensive house with a pool in the backyard and a pond in the front yard with a ton of foliage. I mean, could you imagine just, one day your friend invites you over and you're like, oh, yeah, I would love to come see your house and, like, hang out. And then you come and you see that as the entrance. And then you go in and it's just all black and white and you're like, okay. How much money do your parents have? Because that would be my thought process. To just be like, okay, this is, it's a big house. And it's just you three? Okay, cool. Good to know. Cool. Yeah. I think also the lot, you could definitely put this on a bigger size lot, I think. I think it would actually maybe even fit better on a bigger size lot. But I don't know, I kind of like that it's kind of smaller, and they decided to basically make the house the only thing on the lot. And I tried to not include too many packs. I mean, I don't have that many packs in the first place. So I think I used seasons and cats and dogs. And obviously spa day, because there was the sauna and the workout wing, which of course you need a whole workout wing. Which honestly, if you did not want to have that, you could always turn that into a little, like, some more bedrooms, and have their a whole wing just for that. And you could even turn that second bedroom into probably a workout room or like a skill building room. Yeah. And then you could have that whole wing just be bedrooms. Or you could even flip it a little bit and you could put the parents' bedroom over there and then break up the wing that the parents' bedroom currently is in into multiple different bedrooms and bathrooms, instead of one big bedroom, 2 bathrooms basically, and an office. Yeah, so yeah, the teenager has their own bedroom or their own bathroom, but it's like they have to go all the way across the hall towards the other side of the stairs, which I don't think is necessarily the worst thing. I mean, it's not too unbelievable that they don't have a bathroom like right next to their bedroom. I just didn't really like the idea of having it anywhere too near it. I couldn't really fit it on that side, so I fit it on this side. Just because I felt that made a little bit more sense. Yeah. And oh yeah, so wait, no, I think that changed that painting to a different. Wait, which painting did I put? No, that was the non-colorful. It's kind of black and white. I think there's like a little bit of color in it, but it's really, it's basically a black and white build. I don't know when exactly I decided that I was going to do that. I think it might have been when I was doing the entryway, but I also decided that this is going to be a less furnished build too. That's why you don't see that much furniture. I guess they're into minimalism. I mean, as much as you can be when you own a giant mansion. I mean, I'm sure that they are inspired by it, but I honestly, I want to decorate this build because now that we're starting to get a little bit closer to the holidays, I kind of want to decorate this build for Christmas because I have a lot of ideas. I think for this, they keep it simple for the majority of the year, but when it comes to like the holidays, they really decorate. And they probably have trees everywhere. This is the tree that I was talking about. But like they probably have Christmas trees in like the entryway and the formal living room and the informal living room. There's not really too much room over there, but I'm sure they could probably squeeze one in there. And they probably have one upstairs as well. And then tons and tons of lights everywhere, all the way around it. And just imagine also like the snow. I wonder how these bushes and flowers look in the snow. I didn't really think about that, because if there's snow down, then it might not look as cool. It does snow in Newcrest, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. I haven't really played too much since I got seasons. I haven't played too much in Newcrest. I think it does. It should at least. But yeah. Oh yeah, when I don't know how I accidentally raised the foundation at some point, but I did. So here's me fixing the stairs because for some reason it messed up the stairs. I don't know. But yeah, I fixed that. Then finishing the entryway a little bit. I really didn't know how much to really furnish this place. I like how it ends up. I like that it's not overly furnished, but it's definitely one of the ones that it's not furnished a ton. Oh, and the version on the gallery is a little bit different from this version, as I changed a couple things that I didn't record, because I just extended this patio a little bit to surround the pool all the way, just because I didn't like it, and then I added another one of the couches because of that. And I think that's all I really did. Oh no, I added skylights above the office and above the bedroom, the parents' bedroom. So 3 skylights total. I thought about putting one in the teenager's room, and then I decided, nah, I don't want to do that. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the subscribe button, as well as turn on notifications for this channel. Hit the like button if you liked it, and all of my social media is in the description below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!